Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life on Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. Aspie, I'm all about creating my everyday life stories of Asperger's syndrome, as well as taking you all on a journey with it, as well as just the tips and advice along the way for your general health versus your mental health with health and awareness, as well as some other bits in between that I feel close to my heart to share, regardless if it's mentoring, educating, supporting you all. So as I am sharing right now, while I've been meditating right now, is based on the series Guarding Your Heart, and I feel to share it because obviously there's someone out there that might want to hear it or not, but if it's not for you, that's fine. Just pass it along to the ones that you think is you needing to hear what I'm sharing, because I really want to throw it out there, because obviously, as we know, during our hardships we need to build each other up and not tear each other down. So this one's just like the third part of it, the reasonings to why we should be guarding our heart here, I'll say, so that, you know, as we know, basically there are many times in our lives that we want to quit, throw in the towel, throw a hissy fit, basically no matter what goes down, because obviously we want everything to go perfectly well, right? Well, wrong. There are reasons to why we go through our everyday struggles, difficulties in life, I believe, and with those it teaches us life lessons along the way, as well as hoping to teach us to be patient to what is to come our way regardless. Sometimes in our lives we have to, basically in our journey, we need to go through these pain and sufferings, or as I call it, the rain before the sunshine here, say, to learn, to grow in spirit and mind and everything else, as well as our strength to protect our hearts, spirit and soul and mind, no matter what is thrown at us. And in saying this, that hopefully we don't have to dwell on it time and time again when we go through it, and hopefully in saying this we don't go through that very same situation, or if we did go through that same situation, is it showing us the same life lesson before of that similar situation we're facing, regardless what it may be, like a breakup, or basically someone has been bullying us for quite some time, or whatever it may be. Hopefully we learn from that life lesson. I believe in our everyday life that everything happens for a reason, you know, and in saying this, that there is a time and a reason for our season of changes, regardless what it may be in our everyday lives. I also believe that, you know, with this serenity period, God grant us the serenity to know the difference and all this, that I'll link in the description below of what I'm talking about here, because obviously, you know, we need to be wise and discern what is going on around us and the reasonings why it's happening. Sometimes we need to challenge ourselves about it for a reason, and in saying this, we shouldn't be hard on ourselves regardless, and just be patient for what's going on, because some things are a timely process of what we go through. We can't rush things in life, because we need to enjoy our journey regardless and be happy and at peace. So as you know, guys, basically guys, as I said before in my second piece of this, that I'm trying to lead by example. If you haven't been fully aware, that I'm supposed to be living the light and sharing with you guys and motivating you guys, you know, based on my, you know, belief patterns and that, and hopefully in saying this, that hopefully you can respect my beliefs. I know that many people will throw things at me and challenge me. That's fine, but you guys are entitled for your opinions versus I'm entitled for my own opinions and whatnot. So, you know, you choose to believe what you want to believe and vice versa, you know. But in saying this though, I want to share, this is the reasoning to why we should be, as leaders, to be as diligent as we can to guard our everyday hearts. One I want to share is basically from one of the Bible verses, which I'm not going to try and go too preachy on this, is Proverbs 4 verse 23, and it's obviously based on King Solomon, and it reads, "Above all else, guard your heart, for it's the wellspring of life." Okay, and in saying this, obviously there are the necessities for the reasonings behind it, and there are 3 reasons I can come up with, but there may be more reasons behind this. So if anyone of you that are in the belief pattern and wants to add more to what you believe are the reasonings to why we should be guarding our heart, list it in the comments below so we can start a discussion, hopefully support each other. So my understanding of it is, number 1, our heart is extremely valuable, you know, an extremely valuable tool or what have you. We shouldn't be guarding anything that is worthless, you know. So our heart is obviously a worthy tool. Meaning here is, like, for example, something that is worthless is like taking out our trash one day a week or what have you, leaving it out on the curb waiting for it to be picked up and throw it into the bin and whatnot. and getting disposed of. But this isn't so with our hearts, however, I believe, because our heart is the very essence of who and what we are as a person. It's our authentic self. It's who we are, the very core of our very big being. This is where all our dreams, desires and passions lie, is the connection part, or the part of us for us to connect with others as well as with God. Number 2 is because your heart is the source of everything and what we do. In the scripture above, as I read to you, it means it's the source of everything in our lives. Our heart overflows into the thoughts and words and actions. So what I mean here is, imagine a river or stream, alright, and you decided to plug it up or stopping the flow of water. What would happen? Obviously is you will poison it, you know, and the flow will become toxic. So whatever we say or do in our lives will become toxic. We are obviously who we are and what we are based on our belief patterns to what we believe in, that will, you know, determine the outcome, obviously. And no matter what, that we should just be our very best of what we can be. Last but not least, our heart is always constantly under attack, as well as our mind, spirit and spirit. So again, Solomon in this verse means that we're living in a combat zone regardless. You know, the enemy is attacking us from all sides, regardless if it's our mindset that's actually doubting us and our capabilities, doubting us by feeding us the white lies that we're not capable of being loved, we're not worthy, we're not what have you. But then again, that's up to us how we're going to combat it or fight it out. As we know, while we're living in the combat zone, it will cause casualty, as I said. Obviously, I believe the enemy is here to kill, steal, and destroy our peace, our, you know, patience, and test us, regardless what it is, based on our everyday life of what we go through. And this is, again, up to us to what we want to do in our lives. Everything we do will determine the outcome, you know, good or bad, the ugly, whatnot. We are the everyday choices, what we, you know, do to determine our future and everything else. So what I want to throw at you right now, hopefully, is just a couple of questions for you if you're interested. Is, what was the last time your heart was attacked, and how did you respond to that form of attack? Be it, if it's example of ours is, you know, someone was testing your buttons, you wanted to fight it out with your fist with what they said or what have you, or was it something else? Feel free to comment these below. So this quickly ends based on what I want to share with you all today. Smash the like button if you're liking this, because as I said, I'm trying to motivate you all and educate you all, and hopefully, you know, shed some light, as well as educating, mentoring and all that. Feel free to also, as I said, comment below. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends, because as I said, I believe that someone out there will need to hear this, because I want to build each one of us up, regardless, even though that, you know, this is tough time. We should be still, you know, encouraging one another, supporting each other, regardless of our downtime or what have you, or based on our differences. We should be accepting of one another. Feel free to follow me on my social media sites that are listed in the description below. Feel free to also, if you haven't done so and you want to join me on the fan wagon of mine, to subscribe. And while you're down there, if you do decide, feel free to turn on the notification bell so that you can keep up to date with what I share, regardless if it's autism related or not. You know, as I said, I'm trying to do a variation of everything that I want to do. So no further ado, guys, thanks for the support. Do what you love, love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.